Thank you guys for being on. My name is Erin Bush, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus if you are new. I love these coffee talks on Saturdays. I just feel like they fill my cup for the rest of the week. So I'm so excited to see your faces. It's so helpful as kind of like the facilitator to see your face. It just like, I mean, I was a teacher for years, and man, when there was a kid doing something they weren't supposed to and like looking down and not looking at me, like, well, then I can't do anything to you all, but I'm just totally teasing anyway. But it just helps, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see your smiling faces, and it just, I don't know. So if there's any way you can put your video on, even if you're doing something else, you know, that's great. And you know what? Real quick, if you have a pen and paper, this is going to be an interactive training today. I have like prepared this to be like a training. So I hope that's okay with you. I hope it's inspiring to you. I hope it's motivating to you. So get a pen and paper, because we're gonna like really get into things here. There's been a word that's kind of like been sticking with me lately, and the word is resiliency. So I asked myself, you know, are there areas of my, like, where in my life am I showing resiliency? And let me explain a little bit about resiliency and what it actually is. Sorry, my printer is printing all of a sudden. I don't know why. Resiliency is the ability to bounce back. So it's not just like, it's kind of like how you react to a negative occurrence, or to anything in your life where you're getting some kind of negative feedback or circumstance or happening or feeling. What is your timeline, your ability to bounce back from that? So in our lives, I mean, we have all kinds of things, right? We have our health that we're dealing with. We have parenting. We have relationships, marriage. We have friendships. We have our work. We have our Plexus business. We have our own, like, we have external relationships. We have, I mean, there's just so many things, human interaction every day, where we're required to be resilient. And so I started researching resiliency and who has resiliency and how did they develop resiliency, because what I want is to be resilient in all parts of my life. And I've been looking at my business, and in most of my 6 years, I've been pretty resilient. There have been times where I've had, extreme discouragement. I've had external things that affect my mindset. And for the most part, I've been resilient. One of the biggest things that happened to me in the very beginning of my business, when I was a senior gold, was my why was kind of crushed a little bit. So I want to share with you what happened. My why was really big. We have struggled with finances for years and years and years, and my husband had a really good job. We were not struggling, but I mean, we weren't necessarily like doing amazing either. I mean, we had old cars, we had a very reasonable house payment. We were very careful to, be paying it off in a certain amount of time, but we didn't have as much retirement or savings, and we had no college earnings for, set aside for our kids or anything like that. But we were doing okay. And I saw the vision of what Plexus could be. And so I really wanted to bring my husband home. He's a very hard worker. He has really good work ethic, and maybe too much sometimes. He was sometimes working 70, 80 hours a week. And my love language is time. I wanted him to be home. And I saw, Jules coming home and bringing their husband home and quitting their jobs. And I thought, I can do this too. So I started working. And I just totally poured into my why. My why was to retire my husband young. I wanted him to retire. I wanted him to come home And I straight up told him, like, this is what I want for you. This is what I want for us. And then one day he said to me, Erin, I have worked too long and too hard in my career path to be at this point in my life to retire this young. I'm not going to retire. And I was a senior gold. And I thought, and I mean, it's not like I had this, I mean, I had a team, we were all working, I was passionate about Plexus, but man, what a blow. I mean, it was a huge jump from senior gold to diamond, obviously, right? For him to come home, because that was my goal, get to diamond, then he can come home. And so then as a senior gold to now my why is just ripped out from underneath me. So in my mind, I heard, he doesn't want to retire. I'm not going to be able to achieve this why. But I had done enough self-development that I was resilient. And literally in that moment, I remember taking a breath and saying, okay, then I will make enough with Plexus that you can come home if you want to. So do you see, really the why was still there. And so that was a resilient moment in my business. And it continued to launch me towards that big goal. So overall, I've had pretty good resiliency in my business, but there are other things in my life that I am not resilient about. I don't bounce back quickly in my mind, in my action, or anything. So I wanted to take my business resiliency and pour it into other parts of my life. And the last month, I have been really working hard, last 3 or 4 weeks, really working hard to do that. So then I thought, okay, I'm thinking about my team here. And you guys probably have all kinds of things in your life you are really resilient about, but you don't have resiliency in your business. You encounter a negative, either from someone else or from your own mindset or your own expectation that you did not, meet or whatever, and you don't bounce back quickly. And some of you may not even bounce back at all. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna dig into this, and I'm gonna help you guys build resiliency in your business. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do today. And as I was researching, you know what I found out? There's a foundation to resiliency. There's something deeper that goes deeper than resiliency. Do you know what it is? It's locus of control. Has anybody heard of that? If you have any kind of therapy or psychology training or anything like that, then you know what internal or external locus of control is. And when I came across this, I mean, I know I have a minor in psychology, so I was familiar with locus of control, but I've never thought about it from a business perspective. So I cannot wait to share this with you. And I want you to be right now, I want you to tell yourself, I am going to listen and I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to listen and I'm going to be honest with myself. All right, let me explain what locus of control is. The foundation of resiliency is believing that you are in control. Locus of control is, and locus like it means place or location, okay? So is your control, do you believe your control is internal, or do you believe control over your life is external? So internal locus of control, do you believe your actions control an outcome, any outcome? Do you believe your actions control an outcome? Here's another question to try and get this. Have you controlled the path your life has taken? Or do you believe outside forces have caused your life to take a certain path? That determines where you are in the continuum of internal and external locus of control. So an internal locus control, people believe, actually, let me go back. Let's do external first. So external would be, do you believe let me back up a little bit. Do you feel like things that are happening to you are out of your control? People who have an external locus of control may feel resentful because things are happening to them. They feel powerless to make good things happen or to change bad things that are happening. They blame others when things go wrong. They think pessimistically. They seek approval before making decisions from external sources. They thrive on feeling rescued or being rescued. So maybe even putting yourself in positions to where you have to be. You get stuck and you feel unable to get out of it. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, that all sounds fairly negative, right? But here's the interesting thing. You can have certain parts of your life where you feel is out of your control, and then other parts of your life you feel completely in control, okay? So your goal really is to have an internal focus of control. That was external. You want an internal focus of control for everything in your life. So these people or this mindset of external locus of control, you think your thoughts, choices, and behaviors do not affect your life, but others' thoughts, choices, and behaviors affect your life. How many times have you heard, I don't want my friends to think I'm that person when it comes to plexus? Guess what? That's somebody having an external locus of control. Okay, so you believe if you have an external focus of control, problems work out or they don't. It's all going to wash one way or the other, and you don't have control over the situation. What happens to someone, like maybe you look at someone else's business and you go, they got there because they signed a rock star. Where's my rock star? Where's my rock star? Where's my rock star? Recognition, approval, and the perceptions of others define my mood. Is that you? Does recognition, approval, or the perception of others define your mood and whether you act or don't act? That's an external focus of control. So now let's look at internal. What is that? Internal focus of control. You honor feelings. So process emotions, but know that they are unreliable and they're fleeting. Mostly feeling at peace. In those parts of your life where you have internal focus of control, you feel peace. You feel empowered. You think optimistically. Integrity is important, and acting in integrity is important. You expect life's ups and downs, like you know they're going to happen, but you're able to rebound from them easily. So even if you have an up and then you come back down, like that up doesn't affect your action. You're interested in solutions and motivated to find them. So this is an idea that what is happening to me is largely the result of my efforts and my choices. I'm in control. I can always choose my response, and I have control over that, my reaction, my attitude, and knowing this. And I can choose my thoughts regarding something. I am responsible for my own happiness, and I have control over it. Happiness does not come from other people's approval, from other people's recognition. Like, you have control over your happiness and your mood in that way. You choose who you are, you choose what you do. That is internal locus of control. All right. So now we want to take that and put that towards our business. Now, understand this is on a continuum, okay? And again, I've told you, like, I've tried to look at all things in my life, my parenting, my marriage, my relationship with acquaintances, even my behavior in the car, my behavior towards customer service, my behavior towards my team, my business, my personal business. I don't mean my team business, my personal business, my lifestyle, whether I exercise or not, my health, what foods am I eating? What supplements am I taking? Am I seeking out preventative medicine, whatever, or am I avoiding it? Like, so what is my locus of control in all aspects of my life? And I have found through much thinking that there are places I am amazing, like internal locus of control. And there are other places I am out of control. I am believing that external forces, like external information, external circumstances, affect my response and my action or inaction. And I wanted to change that. I want all of this to be internal. Okay, so now we're going to do a few things, okay? This is where you need your pen and paper. Your internal locus of control when it comes to your business must be strong. It must be strong, okay? It must be strong. So I want you right now to get your pen and paper. I'm going to share my screen, and I want you to think. Actually, let's do this before I share my screen. I want you to think for a second. What part of your life right now do you feel very resilient about? You know you have control. You know your action, your behavior, your response. You show up every day. You do the hard things every day. You do the fun things every day. You know, all the good and the bad associated with it. What part of your life do you have resiliency? Is it in your marriage? Is it in your parenting? Is it in maybe it is in your business? Is it in your job? Is it in your exercise? Is it in your health and healthy eating? Where have you shown resiliency? Write it down. Write it down right where you have had resiliency. Okay, and here's the next thing. Now I'm going to share my screen. It was just, this is nothing fancy. It was just really, really easy to do this quickly so that you guys can have access to the this right here. Okay, so I want you to right now answer these questions about that thing, whatever it is, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to stop share. Okay, so now look at you. Look at how resilient you are. Look at what a great internal locus of control you have. Look how you have taken responsibility for your life and you have made this end result incredible. Look at the results. Look how good it is. Look how much success you've had. Look how much progress you've made. Okay, so while I was doing this, and I just now did it with you, I had a light bulb moment. I actually did it about my marriage. I did it about my marriage. Yeah, pat yourself on the back. That's right. Tell yourself you did a good job. Because I've done it with my business, so I wanted to do it with another aspect of my life that I feel like I've had resiliency and good internal focus of control, locus of control. And number 7, the question number 7 was, why was I able to overcome obstacles in our marriage? So we've been married, oh my gosh, I think 28 years. I think it's 29 in December. So why was, and you guys, I had a like light bulb because I determined to, and he was too important to lose. He was a priority. So my marriage was a priority. So I was resilient, like through all the obstacles we've had in 28 years, and we have had some, we were resilient because we were committed, because we were faithful, because we had love for each other, because we were kind. Although we didn't always feel love, it was there. There was foundation because we were considerate. So I look back at my strengths, right? What strengths? Because I was willing to listen, because I was willing to compromise, because I was willing to recognize my own fault and blame in part, and yet at the same time be empowered to improve myself in our marriage. So there's all, and he was too important to lose. I made him a priority. So now let's talk about business. Okay. Now let's talk about business. You know what you can have here. You know you are here on this call today because if you believe that you can have more and you can do more and you can be more and you can influence people more positively and you can influence more people overall in a positive way, and you want more for yourself and for your family, right? Yeah, I'll give, I have no problem giving you everything. Yes, Crystal. So you believe this, right? You have a why. You have why you're doing this. I don't know what, it could be anything. You're going to save for college. You're going to, you want to retire early. You want to spend more time. You guys, time is the most precious commodity on this earth. So, and Plexus can give us more time, right? When you are bringing in another stream of income like this that is residual, you can have more time. So whatever your why is, like we make this resilient. We make your goals resilient. Okay. So let me give you a couple of things before we go to our next exercise. And I'm going to go ahead and get my notes, and I'm not embarrassed about it at all. All right, we're going to transfer this accomplishment, good for you, this consistent resiliency to your business. But let me give you an example of a business response that is an external locus of control. My business isn't doing well. My business isn't growing because of Facebook algorithms. My team isn't working hard right now. No one on my team wants the business. The economy is bad. People are back to work. I don't know the business well enough yet. It isn't God's timing. Have you said any of these things? That is an external locus of control. We're going to abolish that. No more. Now, here is an example of an internal locus of control. My business isn't doing well. My business isn't growing as fast as I like because I haven't worked as hard as I need to. I haven't been consistent. I don't want to do the hard things. I've let blank distract me. That's an internal focus of control because it's recognizing and being honest with yourself, and I had to do this too, of what is actually holding you back, what you are actually doing to sabotage your growth. That's an internal locus of control. But here's the interesting thing. It's no beating up. It's a totally neutral emotion point of view. It's a fact. My business is not doing well because I have not been cold messaging. And I need to because my network has dwindled. Or my business has not been growing because I have not invested in outside my core group of friends. I've not done a good job with that. That is, but now let's see what the next step is. Here's the next part, the resiliency response. And this is where you don't beat yourself up at all. This is a resiliency response. Ready? I will work to correct my mistakes. I will work to make my goals a priority. I will improve my business by growing my network and talking to more people. I will get creative in the ways I do social media. I will build my knowledge and my belief, and I will be relentless in the pursuit of my goals. I will show up every day to pursue my goals. I will work hard to make sure my business is more valuable at the end of this month than it was the month before. That's a resiliency response. But let's do one more. That was about your business. Let's talk about procrastination. Okay? Here's an external locus of control response to procrastination. I didn't get to my Plexus business work today because something unexpected came up and it threw off my entire schedule. Doesn't that sound so like, yeah, something came up and I didn't get to it. Things come up, right? Kids do this, kids do that. Husband calls and asks this. Wife calls and does that. Okay? Let's do the internal response to that, the internal locus of control. I didn't make my goals or my business a priority. And then when my schedule was thrown off, I did not manage my time well and ended up missing the opportunity to grow my business today. Now let's look at the resiliency response. You ready? I will get up 15 minutes earlier every day to get started on my Plexus work so that if anything unexpected comes up, I will continue to meet my goals every month. Do you see? You are in control. I am in control. I am in control. Okay, so now we're going to practice resiliency with your business. Ready? Get your pen and paper ready. I see y'all. I'm so proud of you. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. All right, here's the next one. All right, go ahead and fill it out. I'm going to do the same. You need to reiterate your goal for September 1st, okay? Write that down. Okay, I'm going to stop share. Okay. Did you have any enlightening moments during this? Did you, like, when you went and talked about the strengths, even if those are not, like, you don't see them as your strengths to get something done, everyone has a little bit of something, okay? So you can work those muscles to get it done. Now, I hope that this sends you into action, but we're not quite done yet. I hope that this is something that, like, you can now act as if this is September 1st. So even if you have done nothing this month so far, you can literally come in today and start the month over. It is not too late. And don't you dare let your mind and that external locus of control tell you that. It's not too late. Like, you have control right now over whether or not you sign the people needed and enroll new customers and enroll new ambassadors and grow your own personal team. You have that control right now. You have that control. Okay, so now we are going to, hold on, let me check my notes. Yes, done is better than perfect. There's like some kind of a quote I heard, like, if you're 70% ready, then it's time to jump in, or something like that. Like, you don't have to be perfectly ready. And we always have that motto, you earn while you learn. Like, you don't have to know everything. Okay, now I'm gonna help you really quick. Oh wait, no, there's one more thing I want you to do. So get your pen and paper ready one more time. There's one more thing. Hold on a second. I'm gonna share my screen one more time. I want you to write this out right now. I want you to write each of these statements out. I will be honest with myself about my action or inaction. I will take control of my business. And you might even write today, right now. When things go awry, I will get back on track immediately. I will unapologetically pursue my goals. Now, you guys, if any of that makes a move in your soul a little bit, like maybe when you get to I will unapologetically pursue my goals, and you're like, I don't deserve that, I'm not worthy of that, then you gotta like, there's more there. Okay, you gotta dig into that. Okay, so I want to talk really quick and take a few minutes, and I'm going to actually ask, let me see if she's on, someone to share a negative occurrence she had in her business recently, and how she was able to bounce back. Heather, are you on? I'm trying to find you. Let's see if she's on. Yep, you are. I'm asking you to unmute.
I think I'm unmuted. I don't know if you can hear me.
There you are now. Okay, great. Heather, will you share just like the most recent negative thing you had, but how an outside voice was able to help you see a different perspective? And so really you had a very resilient response to that negative thing that happened. Can you share with everybody real quick?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been doing this for 5.5 years. So obviously I've been posting for years. So, I'm sure people have come along and said negative things. And honestly, over the years, I don't remember what my responses were. But in the beginning, I had created some Shop It pages to grow my network. So I have a bunch of people in my friends list now, and half of them, I have no idea who the heck they are. I don't know where they came from. But so I did a post a couple weeks ago, the one of the girl, and it shows her back, and it's the allergy testing post. And it talks about how her gut health, helped to reduce all of these allergies she was experiencing. This girl, I have no idea who she was, but she was obviously a friend of mine, commented on my post, and she said, well, if, after her gut was healed, she didn't have these allergies anymore, then clearly she never had allergies to begin with. And she was kind of rude about it. And so I was immediately like taken aback, and I thought, why are you on my page being mean to me? Like, I don't understand. I mean, initially my feelings were hurt. Like, I think that I've kind of shown that I know a little bit about gut health over these last 5.5 years. I've learned a little bit. Like, why are you being mean? And then I thought, okay, well, I need to respond to that. I need to say something that kind of validates what I'm doing. So I responded back about how 70% of our immune system is in our gut. And she came back at me with, well, clearly I can tell that you're not going to like get on board with what I'm saying to you. And I can see that we're just not going to agree. Well, no, we're not, because you're on my page. And clearly I posted about gut health. So that's obviously what I believe. But I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like shaking. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? I'm just going to delete the post. That's what I'm going to do. And my husband came in the bedroom and he's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you about this lady. So of course I told him what had happened. And I was like, I really need to like just delete the post. And he was like, no, you don't. He goes, who is this person? Do you know this person? I was like, well, no. And he says, well, you're going to let somebody that you don't even know, who, is obviously having a bad day, or, just decided to be mean to people on Facebook today, take that away from you? He was like, no. He's like, are you even friends with her? So I went to look, and she had already unfriended me because I didn't have the same beliefs as her. So I just went in and I blocked her. And he goes, delete her comments, and then go in and post valid information that backs up your post. He goes, and leave the post, because what if somebody needs it? And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. So I did. I went into the posting challenge group and had kind of asked for some resources, medical resources to use. And then I posted something that was, had nothing to do with plexus, but validated allergies and gut health. And then I did post our plexus microbiome video, and I signed an ambassador from that post, guys. That's all.
But do you see that? So look, her first response was an external locus of control, right? Somebody else is determining, like, even her emotion, because she said she was shaking. That's not uncommon. Believe me, I've had the same, because you're about to have a confrontation, and oh my gosh, this is something you believe in, and now somebody is attacking, blah, blah, blah. And then it was her husband who sees it from an internal locus of control. No, you have control over this. Like, go post medical things to back it up. What if somebody, and then has an even broader mindset, what if somebody else needs it? Imagine if Heather had just deleted the post, which is so tempting to do, and I have done it in the past. And what if she deleted the post? Somebody would not have been helped, and she would not have signed a new ambassador. You guys, so do you see how her resiliency very, very quickly, because she very quickly bounced back. It was in a short amount of time that all this was happening. She had the emotion. She took action. She captured the emotion first, really, because you said, oh, yeah, you're right. And then did an action to, that's amazing. Like, that's business resiliency, you guys. And look, I want you to understand there are times that we are not doing what we need to do, and we need to take responsibility for it. We need to recognize and be honest with ourselves when we're not doing the things we need to be doing. But there are other times where if you're having a negative reaction from someone, you need to step back for a minute and really look at it. And so I want to share something with you really quick. You realize that when you have a negative encounter in your business, it is usually the result of the other person having apathy, lack of knowledge, or inability. So I want you to think about that for a second. It is usually the result of someone just not caring, apathy, lack of knowledge, they don't have enough information, or inability, they don't believe they can change. Internally, subconsciously. So I want you to understand that sometimes these negative things happening outside of you, yes, that's right. Yeah, Janelle's just repeating it there. It is not always about you. So you having to step outside, like Heather did, she stepped outside of her shaky emotion and then was able to respond appropriately. Because that person they had lacked knowledge, right? They lacked knowledge. Okay, so when you are being attacked this way, if you see the other person as having either being apathetic, having a lack of knowledge, or an inability to change, it totally changes your emotional response to what is happening. And that is internal locus of control. Do you understand that? That is taking control. That is being empowered. Okay, so I want to talk about procrastination for 2 seconds because a lot of you responded to the procrastination thing. And that's okay. Like, we all deal with that. Sometimes we avoid the hard things. And having mental strength is not about avoiding the hard things. It's like facing them head on and getting it done, right? So, and that's what we want to have. We want to have that control. So here, you can do anything for 1 minute. You can do anything for 1 minute. So if you are afraid of doing something or don't want to do something, tell yourself, I'm going to do it for 60 seconds. I'm going to do it for 1 minute. And you set a timer. And then you ask yourself, can I do this for another minute? And the answer is probably yes. So even if you're going right before bed and you lay your head down and you made every excuse because something came up and something came up and something came up, can you do it for 1 minute? Yes. So you get on social media and you do it for 1 minute. And then you ask yourself, can I do it for 1 more minute? Do it for 1 more minute. And then you say, I can do it for another minute. And I can do it for another minute. Yeah, Mel Robbins, 3, 2, 1, go. And then you guys, like, that pushes you into action. And the next thing you know, 15 minutes have gone by and you have done a whole lot. So 15 minutes, it seems too much. You do 1 minute. You set a timer for 1 minute. Okay, I am done talking. I do want to pray over us before we go because I forgot to do that in the beginning, so I'm so sorry, even though I did pray before I came on. But I want to ask the jewels that are on really quick, does anybody have anything? And thank you so much, Heather, for sharing. I appreciate you. Does anybody else, any jewels have anything they'd like to jump in and say real quick? I'm looking to see who's on. Okay. Oh, wait. I just realized that I've muted everyone, and so you may not be able to unmute yourself. Okay, now, do any of the jewels have anything they want to say? Okay. All right. Well, then let's pray really quick so that we can I'm just going to kind of cover the rest of the month. All right, I'm going to cover the rest of the month, not just this week. And if you're on and would like to stay for a second, let's pray. God, you are so good, and I know that just from a personal perspective, I feel as if you've really blessed this company. And I ask right now that you come in and just help each of us have more strength of mind when it comes to helping others. Help us have strength of mind, because it is, Lord, like it is sometimes hard to be strong when dealing with other humans. Lord, help us to be honest with ourselves. Help us to do the hard things and do it with a smile. Help us to just give us that strength. And Lord, I just ask for every person on here that they will see you expand their territory, that they will see you establish the work of their hands, that you will shower blessings upon them so that they can bless others. Lord, I just ask that as we pursue excellence in helping others, that you will be a part of it, that you will come alongside and bless our efforts more than we could ever ask or imagine. We thank you so much for September. We thank you so much for your goodness. And may we just, in moments of high emotion and discouragement or worry or fear, capture those thoughts to you and have an internal locus of control where we are focused on our attitude and our response to every circumstance and situation. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you guys so much for being on. I just really appreciate you. And if you were on my coffee talk the other day, go grab the dang banana, right? Okay, chapter 5 of Failing Forward. Chapter 5, monkeys climbing up, getting cold water thrown on them, couldn't grab the banana because of the cold water. You guys, they were already wet. What if they had just grabbed the banana anyway? All right, you look that up. It's a great little story. Thank you guys so much for being on. Have a great weekend.